The Delarosa estate lies upon a blustery slope in Serenity Springs. Ivy covered the grand residence, and the gravel entrance showed signs of weathering. The environment contends to gain it, causing it to blend into a vast expanse of foliage. A metal barrier with a gold-lettered D written in flowing script is prominent on the exterior. The Delarosa family. Over a long duration, they troubled the residents of Serenity Springs. Because of their wealth and control, they escaped accountability for their actions. Just how were they able to get their rank? It was when a woman named Zoe Parks arrived in town. She traveled here to discover possible information about the Delarosa family. At first, Zoe didn't know why the residents warned her about the estate on the hill. When she met Kirk Delarosa, she understood why. The man exuded an air of superiority, acting as if he were above everyone else. Zoe had an absolute intolerance for people like him. He demeaned the locals and always carried an air of superiority. Kirk ordered them around as if they were his servants. He would whisper threats when they didn't listen to him. Whenever he communicated with them, they listened so as not to upset him. As Zoe observed this, it made her blood boil. This prick was bullying these people just because of his status. Whoever the Delarosa family was, she was going to figure this out and put an end to it. Of course, this would mean Zoe would have to sneak into the estate at night when the family has gone to sleep. That's where she would conduct her investigation. After all, she was good at her job, and there was nothing she couldn't uncover. In the dead of night, she snuck onto the Delarosa estate. Zoe found it peculiar that there were no motion lights or even guards on the outside. Taking a lock-picking kit from her back jeans pocket, Zoe unlocked the back door and entered, closing the door behind her. When she stepped through the room, it was pitch black, with no lights nearby. She took a small flashlight from her front pocket and pushed the button to turn it on. Moving the light around, she saw a thick layer of dust covering everything, which was odd, especially since the family was still living there. They were living here, right? To it. Moving on, Zoe went into the next room, seeing it was the main entryway. Candle wall lights illuminated the room, flickering and threatening to extinguish at any time. She stepped in front of the staircase, moving her light across them and towards a massive portrait on the wall of the family posing together. Their faces were scratched out, all except Kirk Delarosa. "Zoe Parks, you've come over unannounced and have broken into my home," a loud male voice called to her from above. She jumped, shining her light in their direction. She watched as Kirk Delarosa walked down from the left-hand side, his eye fixated on her. "Don't you have anything to say for yourself?" His eyes glowing lava. "What did you do to your family?" Zoe gulped, pursing her lips. Kirk laughed, his hand still on the stair railing, walking towards her. "I gave them a fitting punishment." Kirk spat, furrowing his brows. Zoe stepped back, trying to get to the front door. The only living Delarosa clicked his tongue. "Leaving so soon?" Kirk stood before her. "You only just got here, Miss Parks. Don't you want to meet the rest of the family?" "No. I'll leave." Zoe's back hit the front door, the flashlight shaking in her hand. How was she going to get out of this? If she stayed, she would end up like the other people in the Delarosa family. "Come with me, little investigative journalist. I'll show you what you can write about in your little article, though your readers may think it's just fabricated lies, a work of fiction." He laughed, holding his hand to her. Zoe was led to a room where she had entered and down a set of stairs into what looked like a wine cellar. In the corner of the room were 3 people posed in chairs. Kirk had stitched their mouths into permanent smiles. He covered them in a thick layer of beeswax to prevent them from rotting. "What do you think about my work, Miss Parks? My family is perfectly preserved here in this room." He scoffed, adding, "It was their favorite anyway. Bunch of abusive bastards." Zoe bit her bottom lip and, in a shaky voice, asked, "They abused you?" Kirk turned, looking at her, his eyes shining brighter in the room's darkness. Only her flashlight illuminated the remains of the Delarosa family. I am their dark little secret, Zoe Parks, the lichen of the Delarosa family line, the first to be born centuries after they muddled it with other weak bloodlines. He straightened up to his full height. I did endure abuse on the daily since I was considered a monster. He snarled, glaring daggers at the trophies across from him. She proposed, I can tell the truth in my article about how they disappeared, leaving you behind and the things you had to endure. Kirk looked at her over his shoulder. Miss Parks, you can say whatever you want in your article because people unfamiliar with Serenity Springs would think it's only a work of fiction. Zoe had made up her mind. She would write an article about the Delarosa family's dark secret. She would exclude the part about Kirk being a lichen and instead state how he was misguided to be cruel to others due to his abusive mistreatment as a child. Zoe Parks didn't know if he would treat the people of Serenity Springs better, but at least she could put her investigation skills to good use. As she got on the bus to leave the small town in the Ganwi Mountains, a villager approached her, handing Zoe a letter. Confused, she accepted it and opened it, looking over the contents inside, her smile slowly becoming a frown. Zoe looked at the long paved road leading up to the Delarosa family, a shiver trailing down her spine. Maybe she won't write that article after all. As she crumpled up the letter, shoving it into her jeans pocket, it read, As the last Delarosa, I will be watching you, Miss Parks. Sincerely, Kirk Delarosa,